I'm going to do my best not to get angry as I do this. This is about my 10th video. I am doing this from my phone. I've tried it all, guys. It's going to be the best way. We are starting a new module. It's time for us to start a new module. The things that were left in our last unit were mostly things we've already talked about and done. Surface area, volume. So to start the unit, I want to do, you guys are going to see in your Google Classroom, there's two of these. There's pictures of them. You're going to do 2 sprints. And again, I want you guys to upload them to me. So there's that, okay? This is all like, what is 30 out of 100 as a percentage? That's obviously 30%, right? They get a little bit harder, like 1/4 as a percentage. Well, if we times 1/4 by 25 over 25, we get 25 over 100. So there's my little hint to you. Yeah, let's get started. So our opening exercise, it says match the percents with the correct sentence clues. So I'm going to give you guys a moment to do this on your own. All right, I'm back. So as we go along, obviously pause when I tell you guys to do something. But also when you have questions, put a mark on it, because those are the times that I want you guys to sign up to meet with me and to ask those questions. So I am half of a half. 5 cubic inches of water filled in 20 cubic inch bottle. We know half of a half is a quarter, which as a percentage, right? If I look down here, 1/4 times 25 over 25, that equals 25 over 100, which is 25%. So we know this one would match up here, okay? I'm less than 1 out of 100. So we know this is less than 1%, right? So which one do you see there that's less than 1%? Got to be a half. Ooh. Right? And I'm actually just going to write them in here, guys. It'll be easier. So 25%. I know you guys miss my beautiful handwriting. All right. I am the chance of birthing a boy or a girl. Well, for Mr. Benoit, that is 0%. Flip a coin, and it will land on heads or tails. This is the chance of Gavin hitting one of his jump shots, about 50%. I am less than half, but more than 1/4. Okay? So we obviously know we don't have 25%. We don't have 50%. We don't have 0.5%. Okay? So which number do you see here? That is greater than 25%, but less than 50%. I'm giving you 5 minutes. Just kidding. 30%, right? Pretty simple. Ba-boom. All right, next one. I am equal to 1. So if I have the whole thing, what do I have? If you got 100%, if you got 35 out of 35, obviously we know that that is the grade I always get. So 100%. I know Lindsay is paying 100% attention right now. I'm so funny. I am more than 1. So you know this is going to be more than 100%. So if we look here, 300%. Now, places like, we don't see this a lot, right? You know, when your coach might say, you got to give 200% effort, right? Well, that's impossible. If you're giving 100%, you're doing 100%. Where we see percentages like 300% can be like this one example right here. Instead of 1,200 I expected to be raised, 3,600 was collected by the school's fundraiser, right? So it's when you're getting so much more. Like I said, we see it in different ways, and we'll see more of them. I am 1/10 of a 1/10. So if we think 1/10, 1/10 of means multiplication of 1/10, we get 1 over 100, which would be just 1%, right? And it says here, 1 penny is part of $1. It's obviously 1 out of 100, right? So this one's 100%. I hope you guys aren't getting dizzy yet. Please give me feedback on this. Why'd I write 100%? Mr. Benoit never makes mistakes. This is 1%, Mr. Benoit. And so our last one has to be 10%. Let's see if we're right. I am less than a fourth, 25%, but more than a hundredth, 1%. 11 out of 110 earned is 11 out of 110 earned is saved in the bank. So that is obviously 10%. Quick warm-up exercise. Hope you guys got these right and you didn't just skip through. If you did, shame on you. All right, let's move on. All right, we see here. I'm going to zoom in. Color in the grids to represent the following fractions. So we have 30 out of 100, 3 out of 100, 1/3 out of 100. Now, I don't want to make you feel silly here. This is the beginning of the unit. We know how these can get easy, right? 30 out of 100. You got to shade 30 of them. You got to shade 3 of them. You got to shade 1/3 of one. Pretty simple. You guys should do that on your own. So this one is where we get a little harder, and I think some of you are really good at this. I think some of you are still working on being very proficient with percentages. So use the definition of the word percent to write each percent as a fraction and then as a decimal. So, yes, Lindsay, I know how you love your calculator. But let's think about these, right? There's some easy ones here, right? Like 1%. We know 1% is 1 out of 100, right? So I'm going to write that in there, 1 out of 100, right? And then as a decimal, we think about 1/100th, right? It's 1/100th. So that one's a pretty easy example to think about. We know that 100% is going to be 1/1, right? With the decimal just being the whole number 1. So 1, and then we have, this is 1/1, and this is 1. Ta-da, everyone see that? Beautiful. 110%, still not that hard. Think about this. Think about, it's 110 out of 100, right? 110%. But then can we simplify that? Bailey, pay attention, right? Can't we simplify it by crossing out the zeros and make it 11/10? Oh, Bailey, nice job. Great job. All right. So then we look at it as a fraction. And if we think about splitting up 110/10, right? We have 100/100. Or we can even do it at the 10th, right? So we have 10/10 plus 1/10, right? So what do I have here? Well, I have a whole. Oh, it's blurry. I have a whole, 10/10, and I have 1/10. So we know that it would come out to be 1 1/10. Pretty simple task. These next ones are a little bit harder. So I want you to think about this. 0.5%. So what is 1%? It's 1/100. Correct, Alec. Nice job. So what is half of 1/100th? Let you guys pause and think about that. So half of 100th, so we do 1/100th times a half, it would be 1/200. Doot doot. Oh no. But how do I turn that into a decimal, Mr. Benoit? Never fear. Can we turn this into a thousandth? Yes, we can. By timesing it by 5/5, which would equal 5 thousandths. So it would be 5 tenths, hundredths, thousandths. Everyone see that? And again, if you look at the decimal, right? 5 thousandths doubled is 1/100th. Pretty cool. I know. We're going to skip the top one so we can keep moving along. All right. Try to fill in this chart on your own. Give you a moment. Bam! With video, I'm done in a second. So, looking here, right? Some of them are pretty simple. 350%. Okay? We obviously know it's greater than 1, right? And if 100% is 1, 300% would be 3. Then we also have 50%, which is a half or 0.5, right? And again, we can also notice this if we just move the decimal place over 2 places in the percent. We get the decimal. Pretty simple. Again, 350% would be 350 over 100. Me being great, I simplified it, as you can see, to 35 over 10. This next one, pretty quick. Figure out the percentage by moving my decimal place to the right 2 places. 1, 2, 2.5%. And if we read this decimal, no, Tamika, we don't say 0.025. We say 25 thousandths. So we immediately know that the fraction is 25 over 1,000. And if you simplify that, you can get 1/40th. An eighth, they just give us the fraction an eighth. And this is where I would see things getting confusing, because we have to do 1 divided by eighth, because as we know, a fraction is the same as division. So I did 1 divided by 8 with long division, as you can see. You guys can tell I'm not cheating with a calculator. And I got my decimal, 125 thousandths, right? What it simplifies down to. And so then I find the percent by timesing it by 100, or just move my decimal place 2 places. So I get 12.5%. And there is our example 2. Again, this should be a lot of review. You have your exit ticket to do. Go back, watch this video again. Guys, you can YouTube this. You're all capable of doing this, no doubt in my mind. So fill in the chart converting between fractions, decimals, and percents. Show your work provided. I mean, very quickly, we already did 1/8. You can go back and steal those answers. 2/5%. You're going to have to do some work on that one. And I want you guys to do the exit ticket. I'm not going to go over the exit ticket every day. I want to see what you can do. This is kind of like your daily quiz when you pass that in to me. And if I think we need to more work, I'll meet with you one-on-one. So please do your exit tickets. I will upload the homework helper for anybody. But again, guys, like the beauty of this is you do have technology on your hands. I mean, my homeboy from Math Antics, definitely will post a video of him doing this. I know you guys love him. He is your favorite, second favorite to me. On these, it says create a model to represent the following percents: 90%, 9/10%, 900%, 9/10%. Yeah, you're just creating a model for me, a tape diagram. Benjamin believes that 0.5% is equal to 50%. Is he correct? Why or why not? Again, this is just me seeing what you can do. Certainly will help you with any of these needed. And then a big chart here. So take your time on this. You have questions, send me an email. We'll get together. All right. That's it, home doggies, for lesson 1. I miss you all. Again, do your best on this. I am available. I've been kind of a slacker. Like, you really got to email me and sign up for the time on that Google Doc. I just ditched a 5th grader. I will try not to do that anymore. I totally forgot about the time. So my apologies. Yeah, miss you guys. Hope you guys do well. Again, please contact me with questions. Please. Bye.